If you fucking put Sal in my bowl again, I'm going to lose it.
The best way to bet the NFL is win totals. In this win projection series, you will get to see the logic behind Big Rye and the Fat Guys' win total projections and how you can win whatever contest you decide to enter for the 2018 NFL season. In 2017, the Houston Texans only won 4 games. Fat Guy, what did you think about the Houston Texans 2017 season?
They were exciting with Deshaun Watson, and they weren't very exciting without him. Except for DeAndre Hopkins. That was a career year. He was awesome. The rest of the team looked kind of pedestrian.
At head coach, they have Bill O'Brien returning for his 5th season. So far, he's gone 31-33.
I really liked him in past years, but I'm kind of thinking this has got to be the last one. He's also taking over as offensive coordinator, and anyone who's been following the league knows that almost never works. I'm not really optimistic about his chances this year.
You might be a little more optimistic about Romeo Crennel returning as the defensive coordinator.
Yeah, he was something weird like assistant head coach last year, but he pretty much ran the defense. He's been doing it since his head coaching stint in Kansas City, and I believe that he was a head coach in Cleveland. Well, I do know that. And he was also a defensive coordinator with Bill Belichick in New England. I really like Romeo Crennel. We see each other at the Overeaters meetings a lot. He's a quality coach in the NFL.
So for guys they've added, quarterback Brandon Weeden, quarterback Joe Webb, does it matter?
No, I mean Brandon Weeden, the oldest drafted quarterback of all time by your Cleveland Browns. Real solid pick that was.
He's got to be what, 45, 47
Yeah,
now?
something like that, whatever.
Wide receiver, who cares, but they added Sammy Coates.
Yeah, Sammy Coates, another guy from Cleveland. That's a good way to build your team.
On the O-line, they've tried to make a lot better additions in Zach Fulton and Senio Kelemete inside, and then at right tackle, Chantrell Henderson.
They had a very, very poor offensive line last year, and they also lost Wayne Brown. So you're just going to have to add a bunch of bodies and hope some of it works out.
At linebacker, Josh Keys, does it matter?
The other one, nope.
At corner and at corner/safety, they added Aaron Colvin, who played well last year for the Jacksonville Jaguars, as well as corner safety Johnson Batamosi.
Batamosi is more of a special teams player, but Aaron Colvin really did play well for the Jags last year. This is an excellent signing.
And the most notable addition that they made was safety Tyrann Mathieu.
Tyrann Mathieu, the Honey Badger. I'm kind of excited for this secondary. Colvin and Mathieu, those are excellent signings.
They lost CJ Fedorowicz to what I believe is an early retirement due to concussions.
He's a plug-and-play tight end for those of you fantasy football players out there. He had some decent games for the Houston Texans.
At tackle, they've lost Derek Newton.
Yeah, Derek Newton had this weird double knee injury. I don't know why I kind of chuckled there, but it's really unfortunate. I wish them well.
And the most notable loss is linebacker Brian Cushing.
Brian Cushing, the biggest meathead in the NFL, but I loved him. That's too bad, but I mean, it's been a long time. It's like almost 10 years.
Now let's gloss over this roster and see where Houston stands. At quarterback, they've got Deshaun Watson. It really hinges on him.
It does, and I'm not as optimistic as everybody else. Like, think of how amazing and phenomenal he was in some of those games. Like, even in that losing effort to Seattle, like, what a game. Do you really think he's going to be able to keep that up in a second year coming off an injury? The answer is you got to play the numbers here. No. Play averages. It's just really not going to happen. He had Robert Griffin-style numbers. Like, that, it was that good. I'm not so optimistic this year. It's so hard to repeat that.
That running back, it's a 1-2 punch really with Lamar Miller, Deontay Foreman. There's a chance Alfred Blue, Tyler Ervin might get some playing time, but this might be Deontay Foreman's year to take over.
Tyler Ervin went to school with my sister. He's a special teams player more or less, a little bit gadgety. He's got some speed to him, but it's going to be tough for him to break in. I expect Foreman out of Texas, a rookie last year, to kind of take over the reins. Lamar Miller looks like a good release candidate for the next year.
At wide receiver, the one and only DeAndre Hopkins. Around him, the supporting group is Will Fuller, Bruce Ellington, Braxton Miller. They added Sammy Coates as well as Kiki Koute in the 4th round.
Kiki Koute, sounds like you're speaking French to me, handsome.
Voulez-vous coucher?
Oh, don't even do it.
Avec moi?
Yeah, DeAndre Hopkins is one of the best receivers in the league. It's between him and Antonio Brown for me. He is unbelievable. I mean, he doesn't quite have the physical. He doesn't quite have the physical upside as some of the other wide receivers in that class, but everything else he does so much better. He can catch a ball at literally any angle, at any speed, coming at any direction. He's unbelievable. I have nothing but praise for DeAndre Hopkins. He's one of my favorite players in the league to watch.
I'm glad that you broke down DeAndre Hopkins. Let me break down Will Fuller. He's really fast.
Yeah, that sounds about right. He's got a cool haircut, too.
And he's really fast.
Yes.
At tight end, they have Ryan Griffin and Stephen Anderson. Also, they added Michael Pruitt from the Minnesota Vikings.
It's not Stephen King, it's Stephen King. So it would be Steven Anderson. If it's Stephen, I'll eat my shirt, but I'll probably eat it anyways.
On the offensive line, they have Julie N. Davenport, don't call me Julian, Zach Fulton, Nick Martin, Jeff Allen, Sontrell Henderson, as well as guys like Greg Mance, Senio Colomete, David Quisenberry, as well as Kendall Lamb.
And David Quisenberry is coming back from cancer. So
go David.
Go David. Good on you for sticking around. Good on the organization for keeping someone around who had such a difficult battle. The rest of the offensive line, though, is just really a hodgepodge. Seantrell Henderson had some alright games with Buffalo. I think he had some substance abuse issues. That's why he kind of fell in the draft. And then he ended up in Buffalo, and then he eventually got cut. So this line is really, really uninspiring. It's going to be difficult. At least Deshaun Watson has some sort of legs to kind of keep himself moving. But this is definitely a weak spot on this team.
They also added Martinez Rankin, a left tackle in the 3rd round. There's a chance he might play.
Yeah, I would say there is a very good chance that he's going to play.
On the defensive side of the ball, the much more exciting side for this Houston Texans team, highlighted by J.J. Watt, as well as your boy Jadeveon Clowney.
Clowney, the sickest hit in football history against that running back in Michigan. He hit him so hard that no one knows who that running back's name is.
Let's go over other guys on this front 7. Joel Heath, DJ Reader, Whitney Merciless, who's a name, Zach Cunningham, Benardrick McKinney, another name. Benadryk.
Sounds like Benadryl.
Yeah. I'm going to drill these home. Christian Covington, Brandon Dunn, Carlos Watkins, Josh Keys, whoever, Angelo Blackson. There's not much else here. It really hinges on J.J. Watt, and it really, really hinges on Jadeveon Clowney.
I think it hinges less on J.J. Watt because he's been hurt, and he's like hurt in every which way. He has lingering back issues. He hurt his knee like pretty bad, 7-8 months ago. Clowney has really taken over as the face of this defense, but Watt had such a historically good career prior to these injuries. The rest of the front 7 is really going to have to pick it up. You mentioned other guys, though, that are pretty decent here in Benadryk McKinney, Whitney Merciless, and Zach Cunningham. Zach Cunningham, I believe, a rookie last year. He played really well in his first year in Houston. So this front 7 isn't amazing, but there's definitely some pieces. And if you get J.J. Watt even close to the form he had just 4 or 5 years ago, you're going to have a really strong force up front.
At the corner position, guys like Jonathan Joseph and Kareem Jackson have just been playing so long. You figure that some of these additions they've made with Aaron Colvin, Johnson Batamosi, as well as the first round pick Kevin Johnson.
I would think so, but they didn't look that good in the secondary last year. So there should be some mix-up, but I don't really see it. I think it's going to be the veteran starting. That would be my guess this year.
And at safety, Tyrann Mathieu, he's going to be the highlight player in that secondary, as well as Andre Howell, Ibrahim Campbell, and 3rd round pick Justin Reed.
Yeah, Tyrann Mathieu's definitely the start of that group, but another injured guy. I hate talking about injuries, but that's pretty much what this entire team feels like. One big Swiss flag.
What's the roster strength?
Well, the roster strength to me is, a lot of people think Deshaun Watson. He's definitely not necessarily a strength. It's not necessarily a weakness either. But I'm going to go with DeAndre Hopkins. He's probably the best player on this football team, followed by the pass rush in the front 7 with Jadeveon Clowney and hopefully J.J. Watt. So front 7 and wide receiver to a degree. It's not that strong of a team, unfortunately.
So going into 2018, we have the Houston Texans as a C- team.
C-, average below average.
And for projected wins, we have them winning 7 games with their schedule. The over-under is a whopping 9.5. People love Deshaun Watson.
Don't believe the hype.
Don't believe the hype. That's a 2.5 game difference. I feel silly even asking this. Is this a bet that we're going to take?
Well, you should feel silly because we've already taken it. Under on the Texans. There's a lot of pessimism in this room, and it continues with the Houston Texans.
Hit the like button if you agree with Big Ryan the Fat Guy. Give us a comment below if you think we're stupid or if you'd like to guess the Fat Guy's weight. Subscribe for more NFL projections.